Welcome back, everyone. We are going to get into chapter 2 today for The Call of the Wild. But before I do that, I just want to do a brief recap of what happened in chapter 1. So of course I've got my handy dandy board here. So remember when I was reading and I came across this word? I looked it up because I wasn't familiar with it. And it's actually pronounced domain, and it refers to some sort of like a structure that's kind of a part of a piece of land, a different structure away from your house. So like a shed or an outhouse of some kind. Chapter 1 recap, we meet Buck. He is kind of the king of the household in California with his owner, Judge Miller, who he truly loves and respects. And then one of Judge Miller's staff members sold Buck to some men who are in the dog mushing market, or who are selling dogs that people will purchase for dog mushing in Alaska. So Buck gets taken and stolen, and then there's this awful man in a red sweater who just pokes him and prods him and beats him, and he doesn't have food or water for a couple days and takes this long trip on a train, and has to learn and adapt really quickly to these new people and learn that not all people are good and that he can't trust everyone, which is different than what he had known growing up with Judge Miller. We also get introduced to a few characters. First, we get to know we first met Buck and Judge Miller. And Buck, we know, is pretty brave and, stands his ground and is a fighter if he has to be. He adapts really well, which I think is an important skill for him and definitely necessary for his survival. Red sweater guy, not kind to animals, we learned that, and just seems to be in the business of profiting off of stolen animals. Francois and Perrault are the new owners of Buck right now, and he has an understanding of how their relationship works, and he seems to be okay with it. We also meet Curly, who is another dog that he meets on the road, who also then belongs to Francois and Perrault. They eventually get to their final destination, and Buck experiences snow for the first time, and we kind of end the chapter with his first encounter with snow. So lots of action, a little bit of action, and lots of things happening really fast in this chapter. So I look forward to starting chapter 2 with you guys in my next video. I figure maybe I'll just separate these videos so that you can watch the recap, and then we'll get going on chapter 2, where I'm going to predict we're going to learn more about this new area that Buck is now in. He went from California, and it sounds like somewhere north, maybe Seattle, maybe even higher, maybe towards Canada, maybe towards Alaska, since we learned a little bit about Alaskan dog mushing. And so we'll see what happens next in a few minutes. All right.